Hey guys, back with another video. It's called What If Asta Has So Weak Powers? Yeah, I kind of messed up on my other video, but it's not a. This is like a different version of what if Asta has so weak powers, because I'm making it like his anti magic is like basically his Shikai, and then when he says Bankai, the anti magic sword will go to a katana. Every sword he gets will go into a katana. But I'm making it. Nah, actually, I'm gonna keep it low. So the Demon Slayer sword, you can fly on it, you can do all of it, and plus you can do slashes with it now since he has to put all the anti magic into it and let out a big slash. Anti magic slash, or we're gonna call it Black Getsuga. I'm gonna take a page off of that. Black Getsuga anti magic Black Getsuga. So yeah, that seems fitting. But I'm gonna make it like when Asta got his grimoire, so when Asta got his grimoire and cleared the thing with Asta will actually be trying to use the sword right now. And this point in time, because I'll take Asta's intelligence more faster than like more learning faster. So every day, Asta will learn how to swing the sword around, get used to it. But I'm gonna say this by instinct: when he throw the sword to a tree, he will actually doesn't even know why he said it, Demon Slayer, and then all of a sudden the sword just flew to him, and he's like, "What the?" He threw it again and said Demon Slayer, and it actually just appeared to his hand again. So he's going like, "Huh? If I can call for it, can I fly with it?" That's what he's actually thinking. He's going like Demon Slayer, but in a different phrase, Demon Slayer, fly, and it would just levitate off the floor, and then also would jump on it and say Demon Slayer, go. And he would just start lifting off in the air and actually learning. While learning, actually, he's actually staying on it real good. And when it said Demon Slayer down, actually, he really doesn't say it like out loud. He says it in his head now, so he's learning how to use the sword barely better than in canon. And then he will visit the sword mage, that mage that helped him with his sword skills before in canon. But in this sword mage, like he talked about how about releasing the energy into the sword or letting it out. So Asta actually thought about that when he was about to like literally say let the energy flow, but he feels the anti magic going up top of the sword, and he's about to when he said anti magic black slash. But he thought it wouldn't work because he thought it would be cool. But when he opened his eyes, he actually saw a black slash of anti magic going straight at a tree, cutting it instantly. So he's very, very learning of these abilities. So like it's still like I'm gonna call it like how much time was it when they went to the matching entrance exam? Three days, I guess. I'm gonna make it like 4 days away. So also will learn his abilities. I'm just gonna make this blunt. I'm making still his rival, so I'm gonna give him the fair very early to make it like combat with Asta in a way. So when was keeping a secret from Asta about this fairy because it was in his book, and will actually learn how to do spirit drive very early because he's been paying attention to his mana zone and skin. So he's very learning mana like his spirit dive, and he think he could create something with it, and he actually made his spirit of Zephyr very early. So he think he can actually topple Asta now, but Asta in a way has something in store for By this time, Asta is actually training and actually focusing the magic into his whole body, but until his surprise, it was going around him like a force, and then suddenly the blade he noticed it was actually getting a little bit more smaller. But in this one word in his head that's telling him say Bon Kai. Asta was confused at first, like why you want me my mind is actually telling me something to say this. but he actually would like remind like do it. So he just like relents and just say Bon Kai. But once he said that word, his anti magic literally exploded. Like not exploded, but like exploded with anti magic. Basically, it's covering Asta. The clothes he had in canon will change a bit. So Asta's basically going through a change. His hair turns black in this version. And then his sword is getting smaller into a katana shape, like Ichigo's. And his suit is turning to a, I'm gonna say like this, a black jacket, like Kirito's, and black pants, black gloves. Like he's getting that Kirito drip. And he said, I feel the power. After he looks at himself and looked at his sword, it was bigger, but now it's like a katana shape. And he's wondering something. Oh yeah, since Asta doesn't have a hollow, because Libe is not a hollow, so he doesn't really have a grudge against Asta. So Asta can really use his power freely. So when Asta said black slash, when he said that there was a big slash, but it was smaller, but it cut like a few trees down. But when he focused more energy into it, he said anti magic gigantic black slash. That was a bigger one. It cut through it trees into trees. But Austin started thinking he can run. Austin started running, and he's specifically faster. So Austin's running until he accidentally tripped and actually about to run, and he tripped and he hit the sky. He actually started floating, not floating, but stepping on it. And he said, "What the fuck?" He's literally running on literally sky, and he thinks this is magic, but he remember anti magic. And he started focusing on anti-magic because he doesn't even know this is like so with powers. So basically, oh yeah, I forgot. Asta's eyes are red. Yeah. So once he goes in this Bankai state, his hair turns black and his eyes are red. So basically, yeah, Asta is like very very OP in this version. So is you though. So basically, he's dashed through the forest testing his speed, but he know there's a fucking cost right now. His body is strained. Even though he trained his body is too strained for this. So he thinks he needs update on the training a bit. So he started basically making his own like monozone when his Bonkai state. Even out of his Bonkai state, he's still making a monozone of anti magic. So Asta's very learning his basically techniques. Yeah. So after that, Asta was actually going around, going to the and this time going to the capital. Everybody's happy for them. So everything would go as usual, like not really usual, but I also know he can step in the air even without his Bonkai state. So he's very, very good right now. So Asta will actually learn, jump around. Birds won't get to him because he made an anti-match zone that will fuck with them. Like it will mess with them so badly they will not be near Asta right now. Even their anti-magic birds, they will not be near Asta. Yami will take note of that. So he's looking at Asta right now. So Asta, in a way, is basically going through the test, except for most of them, because most of them are like creations or something. And when it comes to the battle portion, Asta and Yuno will actually face off to each other. And he said, "All right, you ready?" Asta, Yuno will say, "Yeah." And they got in a stance and then just start attacking each other. But notice Asta actually is following him in the sky. So they are just like, actually, he been noticed, so he noticed like so. But when Asta grabbed his sword and said anti-magic slash, he said an black slash. Asta, was like, huh, pretty good. He will send so much force of wind magic to cancel out Asta's magic. I mean anti-magic. So it's going back and forth until they actually decide. Like this was going on for an hour. The captain thinks they should stop this, but then Ayami said let it keep going. And they were just laying down back on the ground. He said, "All right, how about we get serious? Show me your full power. I know you've been hiding." Everybody's surprised was holding back. And he said, "Bet." And a fairy come out of his book. Everybody's surprised has a fairy with a four leaf. And will go out spirit dive. And he literally went spirit dive, shocking mostly everybody, captains and all. Now everybody think Asa will lose to this, but Asa smirks and Yami noticed that, and he said, "All right, since you hide this from me, I'll show you something I was hiding from you." Everybody looks at Asa like is he crazy or something? Asa will get in the stance and notice something like everybody will notice something black or wrapping around Asta, and Asa will say, "Bard, Ka." You don't never heard this phrase, but looks at Asta and notice his energy anti-magic will spread around the whole, not whole arena, but go in the sky. And then once the anti-magic dispersed, everybody got a good look at Asta. Asta's eyes are red. His hair is black. He has a fucking black katana. He said, "All right, let's get serious." Will say, "Huh? How about I actually bring out my blade for this one?" Since Asta, you don't bring us a blade, Asta think this is gonna be a sword for a fight. So Asta will dash to Yuno will do the same. Once they clash, it will send a fucking shockwave by this point. I know y'all say, why you making, like, compare to Asta anti-magic at soul level powers, but I can't. Because I want to, because I want Asta to have a good level. So Asta's going with, toe to toe. So basically, is basically like having fun with Asta, and Asta just like having fun with and they were going at it. Asta was using his speed to counteract but can sense him. Even though he can't sense his mana, he can sense. And this time skip, Asta, was able to sense Ki, since he needed it for Asta anyway, because he can't sense his magic, so he learns Ki by himself. Even with magic, he actually predict Asta doesn't have any magic, so he learns like Ki sensing, not fully like Ki developing. So he learns Ki sensing. So it was going back and forth. But Asa ain't no slouch either, so he knows Ki sensing as well. So he's basically good. So they're going at it until they want to do one final attack. Was getting all the wind magic buried in his sword. Asa was getting all the anti magic buried in his sword. When they charge at the turtle last time, Ayami steps in and actually stops them. And he told them told the two, "You guys really want to destroy the arena?" And they literally forgot everybody was here. So because and like when they're training, even without showing their full power, they know they need to specifically hold back. And they looked around and said, "Oh, sorry, Captain. I mean, Yami or whatever your Captain." And Yami would say, "Captain Yami." And yeah, he would go back on the stands. That battle would be ended. Asta, would go up first, and of course he would go to the Golden Dawn. But this is weird for Asta at this point. Everybody, not everybody, but like the praying mantis, Goyon, Yami, and for some reason Nozel wants Asta on their team. But since Asta noticed Yami with a katana, he wants to learn katana skills. So he actually chose Yami. Because completely honest, I don't even know anything about the other captains, like what they do or what they go on missions for. So also we'll go Yami and actually learn, like go with Yami, go to the Misfits of the Misfits. But I want to say that these teams are on Black Clover the Black Bulls are much stronger than before. Since I'm gonna say this, Noelle actually got control over Magic, but she decided not to go to the Silver Eagles because her family doesn't want her there. Since they keep blaming her for the death of the mother. So yeah, so everybody's stronger, especially Magma. So everything will go similar. The whole magic thing exam, like for Asta, he destroys everything. Completely honest, even without using his Bankai. But he does know someone's spying on him. He looks up and the person walked away with a silverish hair. And he's actually kind of drawn to it because he kind of likes hair different colors, like silver hair for some reason. like not boys or anything like that, but he likes the silver hair because he has silver, like gray hair, but it's almost silver. So he kind of took interest in that girl because he doesn't even know who this is. So next day, Asta will actually be going around getting introduced where to go and learning his chores, and also will seeing that same exact hair and knows the same person is there. And in this timeline, Noelle will actually be kind of more different. Instead of being front about her status, she will actually say, "Hello, you must be the new recruit." And also actually acknowledge she's a royal, but she's being nice to a commoner. So he's actually taking this a rare opportunity to actually talk. He said, "Oh, nice to meet you, Miss." And she said, "Noelle, Noelle Silva, but I should go by Noelle for now." And Asa would notice that, and that sadness in her eyes. He said, "Huh, my name is Asta." Even though she knows he's a commoner, she doesn't really care about status. She just like talking to people. So basically, everything was similar since Noelle knows how to control magic. There's no berserk. So basically, Asta and Noelle will actually kind of talk, get to know each other a little better. She kind of explained her lifestyle in her life a bit. Asta will say, no matter what, the Black Bulls is your family now. And she kind of nods to that. Like, they do act like a family here than their home. And he said, all right, consider me family. Noelle was try to nod to that, but she will tell Asta she is looking for somebody in particular to marry someday. And he's like wondering like, give me the script scripture. She said someone strong, cool, not overconfident. She looks at Asta, and Asta would notice that. He said, "Oh, sorry." And someone who will protect anybody. Asta would notice that last part. He said, I think I might found someone for you." She said, "Really, you do?" And he said, "Yeah, let's say that at another time." She would notice this and get like meaning. I'm picking a page from Sayori. Meaning. I also laughed to it, and he would actually help Noel up. And in the morning, Asta will actually allow me for some sword techniques, and he will actually go to his bankai without no one knowing. So because Asta and Yami is training together alone, so he learns more katana techniques. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it like here because I'm gonna say the fights a little bit later. Plus, my phone is gonna die someday. I gotta charge my phone. So, peace out. Love you guys. I will make another what if of something. So, peace out.